Hi everybody, this is Chris from Stylharmony. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I will be showing you how to make these cute little bunnies. So these little bunnies, oh look at that, hello everybody. They're made out of socks, so very cheap, and inside we're going to put some rice in it. What rice? Well, just because they're going to be very useful. Wherever you live, it's in a hot place like I do, or if it's in a cold place, or if it's winter, the advantages of the rice is that you're going to be able to use these bunnies as heat pockets if you put them in your microwave, or if you hurt yourself, you're going to be able to use them as cold pockets by putting them in your freezer just before using it. So if you have two, what I usually do is I put one in my freezer all the time, and I have the other one just left, leaving like this in my bedroom, and when I need it, if I need something to be a little, hotter, I'm just going to stick it there in the microwave, and I'm going to have my bunny. So I'm going to show you how to make these. They're very simple, very cheap, just few materials: rice, a socket of your choice, the color of your choice, felt, or you can use real buttons for this if you want to, and that's it. Very easy. So with no further ado, let's go to the table and let's see how it's done. So for this project, you will need obviously a sock. So very simple to find. The color of your choice. Everything here, of course, is from what you prefer, whatever color you prefer. You will need also a little bit of acrylic paint. Something a little bit round like this. It could be a head pin, just to make the little eyes like you have here, the white eyes, the white spots here. You see that? Just to make that. And also a can or a mug would be fine too. I'm just going to show you why afterwards. You will need some kind of glue. I'm using some silicone glue here. You could use hot glue, but we're going to deal with very tiny things here, so I don't want you to burn yourself. A thread. I'm going to use black because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Of course, you will have to have some rice. And I'm also going to use rubber bands, so use the size you have. I happen that I have these little rubber bands here. The one that you can make jewelry with. I'm not using them, so I decided I was going to use them right now in this project. So the first thing here we're going to do is cut our sock, and I'm going to cut it more or less just over the heel here. The heel, I'm sorry. So of course the longer the bigger it's going to be, so it's up to your choice. And I'm not going to do anything on the bottom here because it's just perfect the way it is, and we're not going to see anything anyway. Look at that. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything on the bottom. I'm just going to use my can or my mug, as I was saying. Is that upside down or inside out? No, it's okay. I did it on the right side. So you need to put it just here like this, and it's going to help you fill your sock with your rice. And I'm not going to give you the amount of rice you need because obviously it's going to depend on the size of your sock and how filled you want it to be, but just have enough. So I'm just willing to have some more here, and of course any rice will do for this. You don't need to buy anything fancy. Let me see. Do I need a little bit more? I'm just going to fill it up with the rest of rice that I have here, and that will do the trick. Okay. Put this aside, and now here I am going to put my rubber band, and I'm just going to use 2 for now. And I'm not going to go all the way down to where my rice stops. I'm going to leave, like, I don't know, maybe an inch over it, just to give me some little, room, wiggle room to be able to move it a little bit. Let's see, how does that go? Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. Maybe a bit tight. So I am going to undo this if I can and put it a little bit higher. And I think it's going to be just fine. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And also it's very relaxing to use. I really like that. So now we're gonna separate the head from the body, and I'm gonna use this color just because I want you to see what I'm doing, otherwise it will be of course white or maybe pink. We're gonna cover it up so it's not a problem, and I'm gonna try and see where I want her face, because obviously it's gonna be a girl because it's a kind of pinkish color, and I think I'm gonna put it just right there. So I'm gonna do a couple twists here with my thread, because I really want this to be tight to separate the head and the body, and that's, I think, just fine. One more turn. I'm going to secure this with a few knots. But at this part, if the thread breaks, it's not really important because you're not going to lose anything. The most important place here to secure is the top. Now I can cut the thread, and I'm going to do about the same thing here on the top, as I was saying, is to secure really well this place. And I probably cut too much thread, but it's okay. But for this part here, you know what, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because it's going to be black and I don't want it to be black. So you will have to do the same thing here, but with a color that you will not be able to see, because here we're going to cover it up. I'm not going to cover it up here, so I will put some thread, but I will put white or pink, the same color as my sock. So I'm going to put this aside, and now I'm going to take care of my eyes. So I've got my 2 pieces of felt here, and maybe I forgot to tell you, you had to have some felt. Maybe I forgot that. So I decided to have pink for my little bunny here, but I needed some black to make the eyes. And here is when my acrylic paint is going to come handy, is I'm going to make these little white spots. And if you don't have this kind of tool, again, you can use a head pin. So it makes the look of my little rabbit a bit more realistic, more human-like, or not human-like, but alive. That's the word I was looking for. And I'm going to leave this aside until my paint dries. Okay, now I've already cut into some pink felt something that could look like a mouth, a little tiny mouth. I don't want to make her a big mouth, so just a scrap piece of felt here, and I just really cut it very thin. So this is going to be for my mouth. And now, right now, I'm going to do the scarf. So I'm going to do the scarf in pink also, and I'm going to use the whole length here of my felt, and I'm just going to cut a strip here. I want it fairly large because I want this to look like a real scarf, you know, winter scarf, nothing that is too thin. If you want to make it, you know, thinner, that's totally up to you. And I'm going to put it just around her neck here, and you know what, I'm going to stretch it a little bit. Yep, you can stretch felt quite easily. Be careful of not ripping it off. And I'm going to make just a little knot here. That's fine. And you have some time to play with this because we're probably just going to put a little tiny dab of glue here. Oh, and I've got some stains here, probably with my previous project. Now I am going to cut this. I'm going to cut this piece, let's say, up, and I'm going to make it look like a scarf. So I'm just going to cut here, make slight slits into my felt to make it more realistic. Whoops. And I'm going to cut this one also because it's a bit too long, and I am going to do the same thing here. And I should be using my fabric scissors for this, These are just my craft scissors, and they don't cut really well that much into felt or fabric any longer. And there you have it. I'm gonna tie it out a little bit, and there's one sticky and you don't like it, you can always put a little dab of glue and put it down. I think I like it the way it is. Maybe a bit long. I will maybe shorten it afterwards. And now I'm going to make the bow. So to make the bow, this is so easy. Again, I'm going to go into pink. If I had purple, I would have done it in purple, but I don't have purple. So I'm going to go with what I have, and I'm going to cut a slit here, not a slit, but a piece of felt, and I'm going to stretch it a little bit. Again, here you can make it as wide, as big as you wish. And I'm just going to knot a knot here, and you decide whether you want to pull a little bit more or not, how it's going to look like. And then I made it a bit too big, but I'm just going to trim here the ends. I think I want to make it a little tighter, and I'm just going to cut the ends here. And there you have it, a nice little bow. No fuss, no muss. Now, what we need to do here, because this is way too long, we're going to try to spread it apart a little bit. And before cutting it, I think I'm going to try to give it a kind of heart shape here. So I'm going to take my scissors again, kind of lined up the two pieces together. Or shorten this one. I'm going to shorten this one. It's much too long compared to the other. Okay. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So now I'm going to start more or less from here, and I'm going to go into the center. And I'm going to go back up to the other side of my sock. And it's going to look more or less like this. I don't like this, it's too big, so I'm going to cut it again. You need to do it maybe 2 or 3 times to make sure that you like what you're doing. And I want my rabbit to have long ears. Sorry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. I'm going to use my silicone glue, and I'm going to put some glue here in the middle inside my sock, so I will be able to pinch here, and I'm going to make one ear slightly bigger than the other one, and I'm going to try to stay like this just a few seconds to make sure that my glue is grabbing onto my fabric here. You could use fabric glue as well, or hot glue, and if it's not working enough, I'll come and put back a little bit more, but you don't see anything, and I just think it's really nice looking, and it looks like a real ear. And I'm going to have one on the side, one here straight. You can do as ever you want, and I do believe I'm going to put a little dab of glue here. I like it best when it stuck to her little tummy. There you go, and it's so relaxing to touch, really. Alright, so now I am going to put the little bow here on one of her ears. Dab of glue. And there. Just right there. My rabbit is almost done now. I just need to put the eyes, and I know it's not completely dry yet, but I'm going to try and not to put my fingers everywhere in the paint for a change. So depending on what kind of look, don't glue them down right away. If you want to space the eyes a little bit, make them smaller or bigger. I think this eye is way bigger than the other, but for now it's going to be fine. Nobody's perfect, right? And let me see, I need to be in front to see what it's going to look like, more or less on the side here. Alright, and last, or least but not last, I'm going to put her little mouth. So let's see. Further up, no, that looks like a no. I think, yeah, I like it this way. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep the shape in mind. Put a dab, I said a dab of blue, that's way too much. And then I am going to put her little smile here. Yeah, I like it this way. I really do. I think it's really cute. I would have loved to have purple, but anyway, so there you have it. One with smaller ears, one with bigger ears. It's totally up to you what you prefer. And it's squishy, it's really nice, it's relaxing, and it's useful. And you can also, you know, squish her face a little bit if you want it fatter, or you could make it really thin. Look at that. Oh, isn't that cute? It doesn't look like a rabbit any longer, but it's cute too. So there. I hope this video was useful for you, and at least for me it was really, I had a lot of fun making it. So please give me some thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get all the notifications, and share. Sharing is caring. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you soon. I think this ear is way too big. I'm going to cut it down a little bit. Bye-bye.